We are live.
And we are live. Hello! Welcome to another daily stream. So we have
Kim
and Goran. I guess you know us a bit until now. So Kim, what are you doing? What is this manager strategy and offerings?
Yeah, what's that? Well, I actually help implement our strategy, and I also work on our offerings. So, meaning what is our value proposition to our clients. So, defining what it is we are actually giving our clients, because we are not only doing hackathons, but also developing different IT solutions, helping customers become data-driven.
Yeah, that's super important job.
It is.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so Climate Hackathon, day 3, right? It runs, as you know, from Monday. We kicked it off at 9 a.m. and finishing Friday 5 p.m. with the stream. Winner announcement will go on Sunday. For maybe some new viewers that joined this as a hackathon, what's unique about it is that all challenges are provided by non-profits and non-governmental organizations. And it's hackathon for good, so we expect projects to be open sourced. So,
yeah, and the hackathon is brought to you from us, Stratetech, in partnership with Microsoft.
Yeah. And we have our partners and sponsors. We have Ember. It is an independent climate and energy think tank focused on accelerating the global electricity transition. We have Subak, an accelerator and data cooperative for climate nonprofits. And Startup Wise Guys, mentorship-driven accelerator program for early-stage startups, providing seed capital, office space, and mentorship. Mentorship is always great.
That's always good.
And with prizes on this hackathon, you can take with the opportunity of mentorships and take your projects to the next level, I would say. Hackathon partners, yeah, a lot of them. Copenhagen Capacity, Tech Barbecue, Impactor, Earth Hacks, Wonder Coders, Foo Cafe, Azure Skåne, Nordic Women in Tech Awards. Huge thanks for them for sharing with their networks and participating in this. As you know, our main communication tool is Discord. And you are familiar so far with the channels. We see that you are not so shy anymore. You are asking questions. There's a lot of activities going on. Mentors communicating with the team. There was this team building sessions and such. We also run some live coffee session where we grab a coffee and talk with participants. We will have one session at 6 p.m. So after this stream, you can join us and have a chat. Take a coffee, take a break. Let us know what you work on. Are there any challenges? Can we help you out? Yeah, where are you from? We have participants from 44 countries, which is amazing. Yeah. And we also like to meet new people. So don't be a stranger. Yeah, join us there. Also the selfie channel where you share some photos of your team and such. When you talking about photos, when you share, use the hashtag #HackTheClimate. That way on social media we are able to find your posts, and posts we find, we will also feature them in our daily stream. What we catched on the media today, it was a bit of fake news. So there was this guy saying that recycling is a liberal media myth. Just put everything in the trash, trust me. Don't trust this guy, so that's not true. Yeah, but getting to real pictures and social media, what was out there. First, shout out to all the girls in the Zealand Academy of Technologies and Business, Denmark, and their mentor Nilma Abbas. over there. Ali is helping them out with mentorship as included from Microsoft side to help them shape those projects. There are 3 teams of young ladies who work on the on the projects for this hackathon. Interesting thing is that they chose same challenge, so they are actually competing also between themselves and all other teams, but that's what they decided, and we look forward what they will come up with. Yeah, sounds really...
Which challenge did they choose?
I will not say that.
You will not
like
say, okay.
They can post about it in our Discord channel if they want, but yeah, they are working hard on it. We also have one of the participants crashing his head over the perfect plan this morning. So yeah, it takes some effort to create really good plan presentation for the judges. Keep in mind, there's no business plan in this. You need to explain judges how world will benefit from this idea and why it's good, how it will tackle those challenges and help out those NGOs that submitted the challenges, but not only them, also all other potentially in the world who would like to use same thing. So yeah.
Is there such a thing as a perfect plan? In your experience?
I don't know. Well, probably not. You can always shape it and make it better, right? If you do several iterations.
I will give one tip, because we were in a hackathon last December, and I was the one who had to do the presentation, and it was my first hackathon. I was kind of cocky, because we had 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'll just go through the slides. That won't be a problem. And the first time I went through the slides, it took about 10 minutes, and we had 5. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I actually had to practice almost 10, 15 times before I had it within the 5 minutes we had at that time. So that's a tip from me. Practice, 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 because it takes much longer than you think. You really need to think about what's the most important message that you want to convey.
Yeah, that's true. And we said submission criteria is that you record 3-minute video. And that video shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a limit. This is what our council will verify that submission is valid if video is up to 3 minutes. So please keep it
practice
shorter. Yeah.
That's a newbie tip.
Explain your message, what your project is about, what this idea solution is about in a simple words. Everybody can understand. No need to go deeply technical. You're submitting your code repository, link to code repository. We can see over there. We have
focus on the benefits.
Focus what the benefits are, and introduce your team. Who are people behind this project? Who you worked with? Maybe some interesting details. We are a team from 5 continents.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Moving on. Shout out to Matteo. He recorded the video, will not play it now. He recorded the video and shared on the LinkedIn. He teamed up with Oded, Namrata, I hope I'm pronouncing name right, Marcus, Jonas and Barry. And they are training a model and doing some stuff with satellite images, which is interesting. I don't know which challenge. They haven't said, but seemed really they are putting a lot of work over there, and
judging by the names, it seems like they're very much a global team or an international team at least.
Yeah, could be
from several countries.
Yeah, thanks for sharing out there and letting us know, and continue with good work. You can manage that until Friday and. Get it there.
I think there's one sentence that is really important here. It says, thanks to the awesome team that is going where I couldn't have never gone. And that's exactly what the hackathon is about, right? Challenging yourself and together with others doing things that you might never have done before and could not do on your own.
That's great. And we spoke yesterday that team is one of those 4 important things to succeed, have to succeed in a hackathon. Okay, that was from the social media. Hopefully we get some more posts. People are less and less shy. They are posting more. That is great. So do post your pictures
Brag.
of what you work on. Yeah, and there is no harm in that. Like, people are now focused on your idea. Show us your progress. Send some screenshots. So far I haven't seen any screenshot of some application, what works, what doesn't work. Some teaser at least would be fun to see.
Yeah, it would.
But okay, if we have to wait, we will wait until Friday to see the submissions. I really look forward to that part. It's always amazing, like, even though it's 5 days, people do work. Some work on this in afternoons, after works, and not able to commit the whole time from different reasons. So it's still a short sprint, and great to see how much people manage to achieve in such a short time. Okay, Hack the Climate Dev Post. I have to say reminders again. Sorry about that, but that's what we have to do. So over there, all team members need to register. You need to create your project there. You need to add your team members to it. And then to make a valid submission, you need to submit the video, you need to submit text description, and a link to the code repository. Those 3 things. I'll remind you on one slide later on again. When you are submitting, you will have a template that describes, okay, what that project is, how you build that, with what technologies, like was there some challenges that you run into or such. You're free to use that template, or you can write it in your way, as you prefer. So there is no requirement to stick to that template, and it is just there to help you out. And beside this 3-minute video, you can also upload some screenshots over there, or some other relevant information, screenshots from app, or links to maybe, I don't know, some research or something that we maybe was not provided in resources, and you based your project also on that. Yes, you will find the judging criteria, you will find who the judges are, who the council is. All resources are there on the dev post, so please go there, take a look at this information. We are not updating the challenges. All information was posted there Monday, so there are no new links. If there are some news to share, we do it over the Discord. As you probably noticed, in our challenges channel, we put announcements when we got some replies from our participating NGOs regarding some questions that you sent, and we were not able to provide back. Yes, and who are guests today?
Today we are meeting Climate Policy Radar and Bedtime. Yeah,
this will be interesting. I think we had a lot of questions for Climate Policy Radar, and we've seen some for what time. So I hope those people who work on the projects are also watching now live and ready to ask questions live. Even we prepared some questions. And yeah, I think we can check. Do we have someone from Climate Policy Radar, or we have Sherry?
You have to unmute.
I'm not sure if I ever learn it.
So it's day 3. How are you on day 3?
I'm fine, and actually, I should share with you that yesterday I listened to multiple different podcasts about this topic, and I learned a lot of new things that maybe we can discuss it right now, because it's a very relevant topic. One of the discovery that I found out is that it is. Let me just see here, because I have I had it here, is about the 31% of carbon emission that we have. It comes from cement and steel that we are using in the for construction, and most of us, we are not even aware of this because nobody literally talking about it. All we hear is transportation, from agriculture and so on, but much talking about that part.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like
As far as not actually.
Yeah, we're having some.
how to provide information about that. I think connection is a bit bumpy. Was a bit bumpy. If you could repeat the last part, please.
Okay, so I was just saying that we are not aware of that because not many people talking about it. We are talking a lot about the electricity consumption, the gas house emission from agriculture, but not that part, and not many research has been done about that.
Yeah.
So that is also one of the issues.
Yeah, cool. Maybe there is some way that technology can help out.
We will have to have a new hackathon with new challenges.
Maybe inspired by this hackathon, you will start working on some project afterwards in your free time. So, yeah.
Yeah, since I have a lot of free time.
Yeah. Come on. We know you're super busy, but there is always some time to spend. So for the participants of this hackathon, like I know that you are running a lot of developer initiatives out there. Could you recommend some to them? Like what would be interesting for them to listen, join, how they can do that?
I'm not sure if many people is aware of Microsoft Learn TV, which is a very new project that we started at Microsoft. It's a 24 hours non-stop content about everything. I really recommend you to check out. It's the aka.ms/learn TV in one word. You just find that the part that you, there's a program there, and then check it out. And in connection to Microsoft Learn TV, we also have something called Learn Platform, that you can go and learn everything that you want to learn on your own pace. There's a learning path for different roles even. You can just go there and then study based on your own pace. And we even have one Learn module focused on sustainable software development as well, which one of the council member that I believe he's going to join us tomorrow, Asim Hossain. Yep. He's the one behind that as well. So these are two that I really recommend. And as a part of Learn TV, Goran, I believe you and I, we have a show there.
Yeah, we do. It is called The Maker Show. An idea behind The Maker Show is to promote community projects that are mostly focused on AI and IoT. It's true. Once a month and a lot of fun, I would say. And to learn more about that or about Dev Show that Sherry is running on weekly basis, talking about different developer projects, you can follow the meetup group. You could maybe post on Discord.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, and I believe that we have Climate Policy Radar joining. So thank you, Sherry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Welcome to the studio.
We are good. How are you?
Really good, thank you. Excited to join you here and to see what everyone's up to and to see what we can talk about.
Yeah. Where are you based?
I'm in London.
You're in London. Okay. So what is your role at Climate Policy Radar?
Ooh, CEO and founder. Isn't that fun to say?
Yeah. But what does it mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what does CEO mean? That's an excellent question. I ask myself that every morning. Climate policy radar. Climate policy radar. Should I tell you a little bit about it?
Yeah,
Yes,
that would be
please.
great.
Great. So climate change, right? Climate change is one of those problems that we have a lot of tools to solve already. We already have money, we already have technology, we even have the understanding that it's important. One of the things that we're missing is the understanding what policies we need in order to make sure that the money and the technology move in the right direction. And in order to understand how to make better policies, we need to understand what we already have, and we need to start understanding how we put the better instruments to play at scale, because everyone is going to have to legislate and everyone is going to have to create new policies, from mayors to states to countries to companies, of course. And everyone has to very, very quickly, because it's a super urgent problem, replicate good solutions, good and relevant solutions, and try to avoid really bad failures. An example for a failure is that you can design a great carbon tax, but if you don't get your social policy right, then you get the gilets jaunes in the street, the yellow vests that we saw in France, protesting a carbon tax that was really, really not designed as a good solution.
Yeah.
So we really need to make sure that we understand what's already out there and what are the things to avoid and what are the things to replicate. And the reality is that we don't really know. The evidence based on the climate policies and climate laws that are out there is fairly minimal. And I'm saying minimal, although there's multiple databases that exist, and they're maintained mainly by universities and NGOs that have research assistants then go and Google what is Germany's latest transportation policy or whatever. And Climate Policy Radar is an attempt to marry the existing knowledge with machine learning and AI solutions, and really radically scale the collection and analysis of climate laws and policies to make that available for everyone who has to make decisions, policymakers and everyone who supports them, researchers, investors who want to move money around and need to know what's going on, companies that are subject to laws and regulations, and even citizens who want to oversee their governments, to push for change, to advocate for quicker policymaking and better policymaking and so on.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do.
I think your challenge is one of the challenges that sounds the most challenging, if I can put it that way, because all the challenges we have are challenging, obviously. But really, because it's not about just understanding and or finding the policy, it's about understanding the policy, and it's obviously about understanding the context of the policy. Because even if a policy is right for one country, just as you were saying, it might not be for another because the way they've done the policy doesn't fit with that country's context, I guess. So I'm assuming it's not just enough to find policies from other countries and sort of see if they're good or not, but really understanding the context they're in, which to me would be an additional challenge, if you understand what I mean.
You're absolutely right. It's really important that we know why we're copying stuff. If we're going to replicate something, just picking something off the shelf and saying, let's take it because this is what my neighbor did, or this is what this country did, and they seem kind of cool, so let's do that too. That's not going to work. So you're right, in the sense that we have to have a deep understanding of that. And I think posing the challenge and saying, okay, climate policy radar, or we'll use AI tools in order to get to a place where machines will replace humans in in intricate decision making, is probably not going to be our first year or second year, third year mission. However, we are attempting to move on that trajectory, right? You can put this moonshot vision of this is how it's going to be, and on the way we're going to take steps. We're going to help the humans shortcut some processes. Yeah. So we're going to help researchers select the right case studies. We're going to help them identify things. We're going to help people talk to each other. So if you know that 20 other places did what you're going to do, for example, who's done, what cities that have a similar population density to mine have encouraged electric vehicle charging bays for citizens, right? Oh, here are 20 places that have done that. Let's pick up the phone, or let's meet them in a conference, or let's, I don't know, let's get on a, I don't know, Stack Overflow for policymakers, and see how we can talk about who's done what and what worked better and what worked not so great. And all the way to, you know how you get on shopping on e-commerce, customers who bought this also bought that.
Exactly.
So customers who, governments who did this also did that is something that we can do all the way up to fairly advanced AI modules of that will eventually, I think, I don't know if replace, but definitely support human decision making.
Yeah.
Great.
I think we have some questions
from our participants that are watching. So, could you explain what is the intended workflow to get the extracted knowledge to citizens? Ideally, researchers will ask questions and get answers from the tools we're building. How will that knowledge be made tangible for the public?
Sure. So we can think about a few interfaces, and I think that we will be developing various interfaces for different decision makers, and all of us are decision makers, so citizens are decision makers as well, and obviously parliamentarians are decision makers. And I think interfaces have to be tailored to the needs. So you can imagine a citizen portal, so a citizen website where you can predetermine some questions, but you can also put out a search or a drop-down menu of commonly asked questions or themes that citizens would ask. For example, how does my I don't know, city, borough, country compare on a range of kind of predetermined questions? That's one option. And of course, you can open the entire search for search by keyword. If you're interested in, I don't know, putting air-ground heat pump, an air source heat pump in your back garden, then you can search air source heat pump and find the relevant legislation from whatever, and you can filter it down by characteristics, geography, or time that it was passed, or other things that it relates to. And are you looking for subsidies? Are you looking for things like that? So I mean, these are a variety of interfaces that you can do, and researchers and citizens are you can just design a different front end to the data. So if we're building a data lake, we just stick different straws in it and we each drink it in a different way. I think some of the probably some of the more some of the more sophisticated uses, for example, a government wishing to improve its portfolio, its policy response, will probably have to be supported by a kind of consultancy type, so a really detailed and tailored process by which we understand their needs and do a gap analysis. And with semi-structured reports, we can answer their needs. And of course, humans will support and provide context.
Yeah. Okay. Second question is, have you or anyone tried to link countries' progress on their pledges, like from the Paris Accord, with the policies implemented? If yes, how do you link the two?
Sure. So that's a very interesting question, and I was on a roundtable yesterday where we asked the question of what is greenwashing and how can we avoid it. And when we talk about greenwashing, we talk about the difference between talking the talk and walking the walk. And without accusing any country of greenwashing right now, I will say that when countries commit according to the Paris Agreement, basically they submit a promise and they say, here is what we intend to do. And they send, it's a nice letter, it's, I don't know, 2 pages, 15 pages, and they send it to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and that's great. It doesn't mean anything until they have policies back home.
Yep.
And of course, until they implement those policies and budget for them and so on. So in order to do that, you really need to understand what are the commitments that are being put forward and what are the policies that meet those policies. That meet those commitments, excuse me. There are a number of organizations tracking the commitments themselves, and Climate Watch is one of them. If you Google Climate Watch, you'll find the World Resources Institute has done a wonderful job on mapping the nationally determined contributions. These are commitments to the Paris Agreement. A couple of years ago, LSE and where I was at the time collaborated with them to compare those two climate policies, and we have mapped not the policies themselves. We've just compared the targets. So if you say I'm going in your nationally determined contribution, you say I'm going to reduce my emissions by whatever 50% by 2050. Great, you said that in the letter to the UN. Did you actually say that in your national policies? Good question. We mapped and we found out that, of course, usually not. This was, 2 or 3 years ago, so the data has probably changed a little bit, but the reality is that no, those things aren't linked very closely, and having a commitment itself isn't enough. So mapping the policies is a really, really crucial bit of this. And absolutely, CPR, which will have open data and collaborate with organizations like WRI, will do exactly that, and that will enable us also to track those commitments and to say if they actually have tofu on them. I'm not going to say meat because this is a climate thing, right? So do they have, can these commitments really really meet their target?
Yeah.
Another question, in your view, which would be the first users drinking from the lake, as you said?
Well, I think ideally the policy support community, so the civil servants who are really now working really hard in many, many ministries across many countries, not only on the national level, but also on the regional level. These are some of the most hardworking people that are really trying to get policies through the door. And for them to find the best practices, the first thing they ask is, what has everyone else done? And right now, they don't have sufficient resources to support that work. So I think bringing those resources to them is the most urgent one. If I have to pick one, I would pick those. They're also the most difficult ones. Obviously, yeah, got to be ambitious.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Also, thanks for providing additional files yesterday for the info. We have one technical questions regarding them, how to connect them, but we will communicate with you via the mail. Maybe we can get. So one team is trying to figure out the reference, like how can they match those 3 files with the public site that you have, but we'll
sure. Probably the public site does not have the entity IDs exposed, so that's
yes.
why. Yeah.
That is the question.
Yeah, I would say try on geography and name. That would probably sort it out.
Okay, I hope this information will help them out. Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have some more questions?
I think if I would maybe one last one. What's your vision? How much time? How long will it take before you really sort of make a bigger impact where you've actually achieved, so we can get somewhere in this part? Because to me, it feels still like a very big challenge.
It is. I mean, it's a big challenge. Again, it rests on about a decade of work at LSE, which, although a manual thing, already has allowed us to gain a lot of insight and knowledge into what we're looking for, and also to grow our networks. So we are plugged into the audiences that we're trying to serve already. CPR is, we're now building our MVP, and I'm sure your insights and contributions of all the teams would help us expand our thinking and let us think about some issues that perhaps we haven't considered yet. Hoping to launch MVP by Glasgow, so by November this year. This is a project that's never going to end because climate change is probably not going away, and there will always be more to do and more to contribute. And when we're done with climate change, we'll move on to biodiversity.
Exactly.
And then to any other policy realm in the world that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm again hoping for next few months, and then rolling out more modules every few months, hopefully.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining and helping us answer the questions of our participants.
Thank you
Absolute
very much.
pleasure. Good luck and have fun.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Real great, interesting. We gave some useful information to the teams. I seen some replies saying that it's interesting stuff. We have next guests ready, so we'll just wave to Sherry over there. Hello, Gabriela.
Hi, Garon. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Great pleasure to be here, and yeah, let's get started.
Yeah,
Perfect.
of course.
I think we have Kyle as well, so I don't know if we can manage to pin both of you to the big screen. There we go.
Yes.
Perfect. So now we can see you both. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you guys for giving this space for us. This is great. Thanks for organizing this event. That's very exciting for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the same question as I did with the other ones. Where are you based right now?
Gabby?
I'm based in San Francisco. Kyle?
I'm actually in Phoenix, Arizona.
Cool. So I think that's really cool as well. We're having guests from the NGOs from all over the world as well. Yeah. Yesterday we were talking to buy food with plastic, and he was in Nicaragua. Yeah. At that time, so that was kind of cool.
And it's cool to see this in different time zones. We spoke with one team, and they work in different time zones, and this guy was saying, yeah, I'll finish at 6 p.m. and then next team member is taking over and working through the night. So yeah, it's really, really cool. We have participants from 44 different countries, as we counted, and there is at the moment 380 participants registered on the site for the hackathon. So we've seen a lot of activities going on, and yeah, people are asking questions about challenges and such. So it's a lot of fun so far. We really look forward to Friday, 5 p.m. Central European Time. Submissions will close, and then we will see actually the project. So we are also here a bit in the dark, trying to figure out what teams are working on and such. And it's competition after all. They are not so loud about their ideas, but yeah, soon we will know. Yeah. You prepared some questions, and we will also have some questions online from participants watching. We use Discord as our communication tool, so I'll get to that, but you can start. Yeah.
I will be honest. I spent, I think, 30 minutes on your website trying to figure out what is it they're doing and how can I actually make this work? Is it even applicable for me living in the southern part of Sweden? And I had to, eventually I landed on a smart plug. And then I started to get the idea that, okay, I need something that is connected to something, a device of some sort. And then I can connect the application behind it as well. So how did all this get started? What do how do I get started? What do I actually need to make this work?
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. My screen is frozen, so.
Oh, okay. We hear you, and you're moving.
Great. That's good to know. I don't care about the screen. So yeah, we actually got started back at UC Berkeley in about 2015. It was some research looking into how do we understand how if we use electricity at different times of the day, how that impacts the world, the actual carbon emissions. And so out of this PhD research, we actually had a climate hackathon. We turned this research into a useful software that could actually allow any person anywhere to automatically use electricity at greener moments in time. And so today what we do is we have this data on every 5 minutes. If I'm using electricity, what is the actual carbon footprint of that choice of using electricity? and we arm organizations, software companies, device companies, tech companies, and we advise them on how they can leverage this technology to automatically consume electricity at moments when it's best for the environment without sacrificing cost, comfort, energy efficiency, many of these other value streams that a lot of consumers today are expected when they buy a new device. And so we think of ourselves as really providing agency and choice to have the type of energy you want.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we do in a nutshell.
Yeah, but so to make it work, I need to have some sort of device that is connected to the internet, right? And then I need your platform as well that can then, if I understand it correctly, it sort of powers the device at the right time, depending on the clean energy I can get at the time. That's right? I have understood it correctly.
You pretty much nailed it, and we are really a data provider, and so but a mission-driven nonprofit that provides this data, and then we work with companies who are really experts in control of devices and the algorithms and the optimization of these devices to input this signal to do exactly what you said, to use cleaner energy.
So I'm thinking that if I'm a utility company, this would be a great solution to offer to my clients, consumers, to get them to choose me as a utility company.
That's correct. For utility companies, a lot of utility companies are doing what's called demand response programs, which is basically when they ask consumers to turn off electricity use or automatically, cut energy use at specific times because it helps them with costs and energy demand. You can actually, that maybe happens, let's say 10 to 20 times a year, maybe in some programs a little bit more. But outside of those times, the actual consumer can continuously use electricity at moments when it's greener and still get more engaged and still have the same effect of the demand response program for the utilities bottom line. But now they're helping with carbon goals, climate change, and then giving the customer a lot more of a reason to want to partake in those programs outside of just cost.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about Industry 4.0, where all the machines are getting connected and so on. And I'm assuming that would be an even more interesting environment where it would make sense because it's a lot more energy being consumed, obviously. Does that work as well?
That's correct. That's exactly correct. So I'd say I think there's expected to be 32 billion smart devices, IoT devices coming online. I think we're at 2020 or 2021. So by 2025, I think it's going to be like 36 billion around that. And a lot of those devices, about I think 70% have load flexibility, meaning they're not always using energy. Like a light is on or off, a heart monitor on or off, but a battery or a fridge or a thermostat uses energy intermittently. Those are all great use cases for Watt Times technology because they can still cool your home, maintain temperature in the fridge, but now the energy needed to have the work being done can be automatically timed to moments when the power grid is actually greener and cleaner.
Yeah, and could you imagine that the whoever is responsible for energy and I guess sustainability at the company would then also be able to sort of push their both politics but also the utilities and to say, I really want to buy more green because I can see that I can consume better energy at certain times and so on, really use that as sort of a lobbying way, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm understanding correctly. We can help companies really make the case for impact-driven strategic energy decisions with that same data that would say power a thermostat or a battery to intelligently use energy at cleaner times. This same data, we actually advise companies, as you're saying, on how can they make more sustainable, greener choices around, say, building new renewable energy projects. Maybe I won't put it next to my facility in California, which is already a pretty green grid there. Yeah. I'll put it in areas with more coal coming online, and I can actually offset that coal generation, that coal supply, because now I'm having a greener, zero emissions renewable energy project in different areas. So yes, we use this data to advise companies on getting the best environmental return for each of these decisions, as well at the regulatory level.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, could you even extract it up to society level? So to say, you could say this region, and then be able to sort of from a region be able to influence the country on that part as well.
Yeah, actually, that's a big part of our other work, which Gabby is pretty close to, which is called Climate Trace. And what we're doing there is we're saying, can we tackle greenhouse gas emissions, total greenhouse gas emissions by all the sectors, globally, power plants, agriculture, industry, aviation, etc., to then arm countries and decision makers with this information, saying, all of the emissions from power plants this year, right? How can we arm countries with these decisions to make sound policies and get a sense of, hey, what's actually my baseline? If I'm going to enact this policy, what are the trade-offs I might be able to expect in terms of impact? So yes, exactly what you're saying.
So how can I use? Does it work everywhere? So could I use it as well?
It will work everywhere one day. Right now, we are primarily focused on the United States, so we have data everywhere in the U.S. Outside of Alaska and Hawaii, and then we also have most of Canada, a growing number of countries in Europe, Australia, and then we're going to be focusing on the rest of Europe, I think, over the next couple of months, which is also why this hackathon is so important. For understanding hydroelectric dam spillage, because it's very important for places like Sweden to get the model that we need.
Exactly.
To actually be able to have that data.
Yeah. So, question from our participants: you provided the data for the Nordic countries, but there was no spillage data provided.
You're muted.
Sorry,
you're muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So yes, exactly. This is like exactly what we are trying to. One of the requests, like for the model, would be to predict if a spillage happened or not on that regions. We did provide the data for the Nordic countries. But our main question here is one of the good to haves for the model is predicting if we had spillage or not, because in some certain areas we cannot know if spillage occurred or not.
Okay, and would predicting, forecasting the data for the upcoming weeks based on existing data, I assume, would that be good information for a challenge, something useful for you?
Yes, that was one of the extra tasks that it would be great to have a forecasting, predicting the data if spillage occurred, or forecasting generation data for maybe the next 10 days or so on. That would be very valuable for us.
Okay. Yeah, is there some specific way you would like to see this data presented? Reports way and such, user interface way?
We thought about a specific dashboard where you could show it out the location of the dams and location of also the pool levels, and if it happened some spillage or not. So having a dashboard ready for visualization, that would be great as well. But also a data set with date time frame, let's say one at specific date and hour, if what was the predicted generation and if spillage occurred or not. So it would be a true or false. That would be something also valuable for us. So that's how we are expecting to get the data output.
That's great. Okay, any final question from your side?
No, I think I'm fine. I'm impressed. It sounds great. I'm waiting for it to come to the Nordics then.
Very soon, very soon.
Perfect. I look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to
see you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we'll try to bring Sherry on the screen if Sherry is somewhere there.
You're muted. Again.
Hello. Yeah.
You always look so surprised. It's oh, am I on?
Is it again me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, really interesting guests today also.
Yeah.
And nice chat, nice questions. I hope we answered some questions. At least we got some confirmation in chat that it was good. Yeah, so hopefully this will help our participants shape their solution a bit better. We have less than 48 hours left, so prepare your submissions. Don't submit them
5-2.
5 minutes before deadline. Prepare yourself for Friday, so everything is ready before 5 p.m. Project is submitted with video and everything. Any tip from your side?
Yes, as you said that the deadline is Friday, which is less than 48 hours by now. I would say that right now, make sure that one of you is totally start working on the presentation. As Kim mentioned, you need to practice. And that practice is when everything is ready.
Yeah.
So you will need times, you're a team. Make sure that one of you has this task to make sure that you have the presentation and everything ready. Also, I noticed on the dev post, some of you actually that you tick that you are working solo. Remember, the rules is that you need to be part of a team between 3 to 6. So please, you still have time. Try to find a teammate for yourself.
Yeah.
Go find a friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Or include mom and dad. Why not? Like, I don't know.
kids,
Maybe
or...
they make some food while they are hacking or something. Like, so why not? That's also a team. All
Listen to
skills
Goran.
matter. All skills matter. Yeah.
That's true.
That's great. Azure Passes still available?
Yes, it's still available. And today I got few messages that the subscription is not working. In the email, I put a note in and I call it important. If you have a subscription from your university or from your work, you cannot add this one to it. The easiest way is that just create a new account, and the instruction and everything is there.
Okay, so only personal accounts work with Azure Passes.
Yes. If you have issues, contact me.
Yeah. Not just great, it's logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's people need to read small important letters.
Oh, you're tired after hacking. It's easy to miss.
Yeah, it's easy to miss. Okay, thanks, Sherry. It was a really interesting day. We will jump on the coffee session now at 6 and talk with participants. So who's online on Discord can join us in general chat, general voice chat over there. And we will show a few more slides, reminders now to just wrap the day. So see you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm going to get my coffee. See you.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, getting back to our slides. Hashtag hack the climate. Please use it. Post your team picture or something you work on, and we will feature you tomorrow in opening stream. Submission criteria. This time you, please.
Okay, the dev post project page with the solution description. There is a template. Use it. Or use something else, but follow basically the same sort of template, the same sort of questions. 3-minute video explaining the solution. That is a challenge in itself.
Up to 3 minutes.
Exactly. And it has to be an open source project as well, so that we can use it.
Those 3 things, super simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Judging criteria. Judges will take a look at projects, at valid projects, which means you have those criteria fulfilled earlier. Judging criteria will be on impact, feasibility, implementation, and innovation. So impact, does your solution have impact? And in solving this challenge, or can it solve the challenges globally? Think about it. Talk with mentors. Ask them, okay, now we are solving this, but where else could it be applied? A lot of mentors has business industry background that can tell you about this and that and where it could be applied, can give you valuable ideas. Some notes you could put in your project description, and yeah, to trigger some ideas also at judges when they will be checking that out.
I'm actually thinking as well, reach out to the mentors that are more business people, because they are used to pitching as well, which is what you're doing in your videos. So you can get good tips there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, do it confident, like a 4-year-old wearing a Batman t-shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah. Feasibility, is it realistic to build these projects like with technology and legal and other aspects? Like, this is a solution that really can be built and implemented on a larger scale. Implementation, how much you've done during the hackathon, right? Did you really build some solutions? Did you really build project that works, or it is just a mock-up or such? And innovation as a last criteria. Is your solution innovative, creative, using the latest technology? Yeah, when I said mock-up here, we do expect repository and the code there, so it needs to be a few lines of code at least. So not fully mock-up. Yeah. Moving on, personal banners still available. I think we produced over 40-50 banners so far. We've seen you sharing that. Thank you. Like, it's nice to see that Climate Hackathon is going out there. People get familiar with that. Maybe next year also. Who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Azure passes, as Sherry mentioned, they are available. You can reach out to her. There is one form, simple form you need to fill in with basic details, and you can get your Azure pass.
And use your personal email, or not your company or university one. Create a new account.
Your personal account.
Yeah.
Streams?
Yeah. So we are meeting up every day at 5, and we'll do so tomorrow as well. So what guests do we have tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have council joining, several members from council. I'll not say who, I'll leave it as a surprise. So yeah, council will also give some tips and interesting information, like what they do, why they are relevant to take a look at the projects, and give some final tips, like, okay, what they would like to see over there.
So what's the role of the council?
So council will validate all the projects and see which projects are relevant for judges to vote on. So there needs to be description, there needs to be video not longer than 3 minutes, and there needs to be a link to code repository.
So they are the filter, choosing which solutions are actually being judged.
They will review that.
Yeah. And then you will hear Goran say 3 minutes, dev post, and so on tomorrow as well.
Yeah. But Friday, you will get a lot of Discord notifications as we get closer to deadline. 5 p.m. where we wrap up in our Friday stream with some guests from Microsoft. You should submit until 5 p.m. That is a hard deadline. There is no moving that submission deadline. If you missed it, you missed it. I'm sorry, submit before 5 p.m. That's the rule.
Central European time.
Yes, Central European time. Important to say. And then on Sunday, we will announce winners. Yeah, after council validates the projects and go through them, our judges will vote score on the projects, and best projects will be shown at Sunday, and I really look forward to it. I look forward to Friday to see all the projects submitted.
Yeah, me too.
What was done in those few days. Okay.
That was it for tonight, wasn't it?
That was it for tonight. Yeah, join us tomorrow.
Coffee with us in a couple of minutes, I guess. What time is it? In 1 minute. It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so...
join us then.
Yeah, sure.
On Discord.
Thank you.
And see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.